At just 14 years old, Princess Norodom Jenna has already lived a life most people could only dream about. She was born into Cambodia's royal family, grew up speaking multiple languages, entered the entertainment industry as a child, became known for singing, dancing, and acting, and built a huge audience online. But here's what makes her story truly fascinating. Jenna isn't famous only because she was born a princess. She has spent years developing a public identity of her own, and that journey has taken her from a little girl performing on camera to movie roles, viral performances, major brand appearances, and even a place at an international diplomatic event involving one of the world's most powerful leaders. But there is one question that makes her story much more complicated. What happens when a child grows up with the entire world watching? Because behind the royal title, the cameras, and the glamorous events, there is still a teenager trying to figure out who she wants to become. And the answer could completely change the future of this young princess. Before we reveal what comes next, make sure you're subscribed, because this story gets much more interesting from here. Now, let's go back to where it all began. Princess Norodom Jenna was born in Paris, France, on March 11, 2012. Her mother is Princess Norodom Bafari, a member of Cambodia's House of Norodom, while her father is a French businessman. Through her mother's family, Jenna is a great-granddaughter of the late King Norodom Sihanouk. Her royal connection also places her within the extended family of Cambodia's current King Norodom Sihamoni. For the first few years of her life, Jenna lived in France. But when she was around 3 years old, her family returned to Cambodia. And that was when her life began taking a very different direction, because her family didn't simply prepare her for life as a royal. They also began developing her abilities as a performer. From a young age, Jenna studied languages and the performing arts. She has been reported to speak Khmer, French, English, Thai, and Chinese. That ability would later become one of her greatest advantages, because Jenna wasn't limited to communicating with just one audience. She could connect with Cambodian viewers, Thai audiences, Chinese-speaking fans, and international viewers as well. But languages were only the beginning. She also trained in singing, dancing, and acting. And eventually, she started appearing in front of cameras. At first, people were naturally fascinated by the fact that she was a princess. But something unexpected happened. People began noticing her talent. And that distinction would become extremely important. Because being royal can make people curious about you. But talent is what makes them stay. Around the age of 6, Jenna began entering Cambodia's entertainment industry. She appeared in commercials and television productions and started gaining experience in front of the camera. At first, her royal background naturally attracted attention. But social media soon changed everything. Her singing and dancing performances began spreading online. She performed covers connected to the K-pop world, including songs by Blackpink and aespa. And suddenly, Jenna wasn't known only inside Cambodia. People outside the country began discovering her too. Her young age made the attention even more remarkable. But the internet soon created another possibility. Could this Cambodian princess actually become a K-pop star? As Jenna's performances became popular, speculation spread that she might train in South Korea and eventually become a K-pop idol. It sounded believable. She could sing. She could dance. She spoke multiple languages. And she already had an audience. But Jenna herself pushed back against the idea that she had become a South Korean K-pop trainee. Instead, she indicated that she wanted to continue developing her own career while focusing on her education and projects connected with Cambodia. And that decision may be more important than it first appears. Because Jenna doesn't need to become another K-pop idol. She already has something no ordinary trainee could ever have. A royal identity that is uniquely Cambodian. And soon, another part of her career would begin. Jenna didn't stop with music. She also entered acting. She appeared in Cambodian productions, including Tep Theta Pokal Mies and Golden Kingdom. But her acting career reached a major milestone in 2024. She appeared in the Cambodian horror film The Night Curse of Ria Tre. And this time, she received recognition for her acting. Jenna won the Best Newcomer Actress Award at the second Cambodia Asia Film Festival. That was an important moment, because now she wasn't simply a royal child who happened to go viral online. She was beginning to build an entertainment career with achievements of her own. And the bigger her audience became, the more valuable her public image became. Companies soon began paying attention. Jenna became associated with major commercial campaigns, including work with Cambodian telecommunications company Cellcard. She also appeared at public events and attracted attention from audiences and businesses beyond Cambodia. And her appeal was obvious. She was young. She was multilingual. She could sing. She could dance. She could act. She had a royal title. And she already had a large online presence. For brands, that combination was incredibly powerful. She wasn't simply an influencer. She wasn't simply an actress. And she wasn't simply a princess. She was becoming all three at once. But the bigger her public image became, the more public her life became too. But there is another side to Jenna's story that is easy to overlook. Jenna is still only 14 years old. Yet for years, her life has included performances, filming, public appearances, travel, and the constant attention that comes with being both a young celebrity and a member of Cambodia's royal family. For most teenagers, growing up happens mostly away from the public eye. They can make mistakes, change their interests, try new things, and simply move on. For Jenna, things can be very different. A performance can be recorded. A public appearance can be photographed. A small moment can be shared across social media. And once something reaches the internet, it can remain there long after the moment itself has passed. But we should be careful here. There is no evidence that Jenna is unhappy with her career, and there is no reason to assume that her family is forcing her into it. What we can say is that growing up with this level of public attention creates pressures that most teenagers never have to experience. And perhaps the biggest challenge isn't fame itself. It's having to discover who you are, while millions of other people are watching you do it. Jenna's career may give her extraordinary opportunities. But as she gets older, one question will become increasingly important. Will she continue choosing the spotlight? And what kind of life will she want when she finally has complete control over that choice? We don't know the answer yet. And that's exactly what makes the next chapter of her story so interesting. In April 2025, Chinese President Xi Jinping visited Cambodia. During his arrival ceremony at Phnom Penh International Airport, Jenna participated in the welcome and presented him with a jasmine flower garland. The Chinese Foreign Ministry itself mentioned Jenna's role in its official account of the visit. Think about what that means. A girl who began performing as a child was now participating in an international event involving a major world leader. That is a very different kind of spotlight. She wasn't appearing there simply as an entertainer. She was appearing as a young representative connected to Cambodia's royal family and cultural identity. And moments like this suggest that Jenna's future may extend far beyond entertainment. The answer isn't just royalty. It's the combination. Her royal background creates curiosity. Her talent creates attention. Her languages create international reach. Social media gives her direct access to audiences around the world. And her age makes the entire story even more unusual. But there is another reason. People want to know what happens next. Will she become a major singer? Will acting become her main career? Will she pursue international entertainment? Will she take on a larger cultural role? Or will she eventually decide that fame isn't what she wants? At 14, there is no way to know. And perhaps that's exactly why people keep watching. Jenna's story is still being written. She has already achieved things that many young performers spend years trying to accomplish. But she hasn't reached the most important part yet: adulthood. Because eventually, the decisions will become more personal. What does she want to study? Where does she want to live? What kind of career does she want? And perhaps most importantly, how much of her life does she want the public to see? Those questions will shape the next chapter. For now, Princess Norodom Jenna remains one of the most recognizable young members of Cambodia's royal family. A princess, a performer, and a teenager growing up under an extraordinary amount of attention. Her royal title may have opened the first door, but what happens after that will depend on Jenna herself. And perhaps that is the most interesting part of her entire story, because the world has already watched the little princess become famous. Now everyone is waiting to see what kind of woman she will choose to become. So what do you think? Is Jenna's unusual childhood giving her an incredible opportunity? Or is growing up in the spotlight a burden that most teenagers could never understand? Tell us what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, subscribe to the channel for more fascinating stories about royalty, celebrities, and extraordinary lives. See you in the next video.